Hello. I don't even know where to start with this video. If you have been watching my daily vlogs or my weekly vlogs, then you probably know this is the third time I'm filming this video. I really wanted to talk about my 2024 goals because I want to hold myself accountable, I think. And I think that making this video and sharing some of my goals with you is going to help me hold myself accountable. I'm kind of planning on basically introducing you to some of my goals now, and then maybe a couple of updates throughout the year, kind of letting you know what I've been doing, how I've been doing, the progress I'm making toward these goals. That's kind of why I wanted to make this goal or this video, because I have some pretty big goals this year. That said, realistically, I know I'm not going to be able to quote unquote accomplish these things. I'm going to take steps toward these goals this year. And for me, that is going to count as progress/achievement, because as long as I'm taking steps towards something, I don't have to cross the finish line. For me, life is a marathon, and I'm gonna hopefully live a long time, and I've got a lot of things that I want to do. So these goals that I'm setting for myself are essentially paths that I want to guide myself into in this year, so that, down the line, I can look back and say, hey, I'm really glad I made this decision and I started working toward this. So anyway, I'm making a different approach to my goals this year. Instead of being like, this year I'm gonna do this, it's this year I'm going to start working on this. And it's subtle, but I think it's already helping me. As I'm filming this, today is March 1st. So I have been working on these goals, some of them, for, the last 2 months. I think I started early to mid-January. I did not start the first week of January. Actually, the first week of January, I started working on my list of goals, thinking about the things that I want to accomplish this year or work toward this year, the steps I want to take this year. So let me actually get started on the video. We're so deep into it already. So I want to start with my word of the year. And again, I'm taking a different approach to this. Usually I feel like one word is very limiting. It's very narrow. And so in the past, I've gone with a phrase or something, similar that's kind of inspiring to me. A mentality or a philosophy, something that has inspired me. But this year I do actually have one word, and that word this year is intention. I was thinking about this a lot, the end of December and into January, and I was thinking about some of the choices that I make, about the things that I, consume, the media that I, consume, the foods I eat, and the drinks that I drink, the things that, consume my time, and how some of it is on autopilot, and I don't actually think about what I'm doing or what I'm eating, what it means for, my body, what it means for my mental health. And so I thought I want to be more aware and take more of it an in-charge approach to those types of things. So I want to have more intention, be more mindful about the things that I'm consuming, the way I'm spending my time, who I'm spending my time with, and the things that I'm choosing to exclude this year. So I want to be more intentional. So that is my word of the year. And I don't think about it every day, but I do think about it multiple times a week. So for me, it's all about balance, and I'm trying to be more forgiving of myself this year, but that's one of my later goals. So let me break out some of my goals, because I have 6 different categories here. I have health, wealth, learning, making, and then I have 2 categories I'm calling self and others, but these are more about how I treat myself and how I treat others. So let me start at the beginning. Let's start with health, because I feel like health goals at the beginning of the year, a lot of people approach, January 1st and they say, this year I'm going to lose the weight. And I'm not going to lie and say that I don't care about the weight. I do, to a certain extent. I realize that as I'm moving my body more and, providing my body with better nutrition, I may lose weight, and I am tracking weight and measurements and that sort of thing. For me, it's less about weight, and I'm only tracking those because I'm interested in the metrics and seeing the changes. I've got a Google spreadsheet tracker because I'm interested in it. but it's not like if I don't weigh this by the end of the year, then I've failed this goal. For me, it's about feeling comfortable in my body, feeling comfortable doing activities, wearing the clothes that I own, walking up the stairs without my knees hurting. So my first health goal is to move my body more. And I have been doing this. I've had some challenges at work lately, and I've kind of briefly talked about that in a couple of different videos, but one of the good things to come out of my work challenges is now I have a little bit better work-life balance. So I'm working the 8 to 4:30 shift now, and with that, it means that I'm done with work generally around 4:30 in the afternoon, which means I can walk the dogs in the afternoon after work, and it's still light out. So even if I don't take them on a walk, I can go on a walk. And I do have a walking pad at my standing desk now, so I bought like a treadmill, a mini treadmill, and I love it. And what I do with that is I walk an hour, maybe 2, 4 out of 5 days a week. I don't walk every day, and I don't walk all day. I don't want to hurt myself, and there are some parts of my day that it's totally inappropriate for me to be on a treadmill, but it helps me get some steps in while I'm at my desk. And instead of being totally sedentary, sitting in a chair all day long, I'm able to, get some blood flow moving a little bit throughout the day. And I really like that. I've really been enjoying that. So I've been more mindful about making it a priority to move my body and to do more things. And I can tell you my Apple Watch has been much happier with me this year because I have been moving my body more. My next health goal is improve nutrition. And I'm doing this how I'm doing this is we are purchasing HelloFresh, so we get a HelloFresh box delivered to us once a week. HelloFresh is really helpful because I'm not going to the store and picking out vegetables to cook for dinner. I pick the meals from HelloFresh and they send me everything that I need. So they have been sending us a lot of carrots to roast, and I won't lie, they're one of my favorite things. And if we do choose to take a break from HelloFresh, I would go to the store and buy a bunch of carrots and roast them on a sheet pan because I love them. And I didn't know that I loved them as much as I did until we started making these HelloFresh meals and eating roasted carrots once a week. And it's like eating candy, but it's a vegetable. It makes me happy, and it also feels like I'm putting something good into my body. So I will say it's not an everyday, every meal sort of situation. There was There was a time, I think last weekend, that I had onion rings, just onion rings for lunch, and it made my soul happy. So I'm trying to find that balance between what's going to be really good for, me, and what's going to be really good for my soul, my mental health, that sort of thing. So I'm working on improving my nutrition, but it's not going to be an all or nothing thing. It's going to be a do my best most of the time, and then sometimes allow myself to go out for brunch and have a mimosa, and that's okay too. My last health goal is to increase water intake, and this is my first water bottle of the day, and it is afternoon, and I am not doing as well on my water today, but yesterday I had 3 of these. My goal is to have one of these before noon, one of these from 12 to 4:30 when I'm in the second part of my shift at work, and then to have one after work but before I go to bed. So for the most part, I would give myself an 85%. If I was to give myself a grade, I would give myself a B. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than I was. I feel like I'm peeing all the time, but I know that it's good for me. And, I've noticed a little bit of improvement in other areas of my health since I've been taking my water. I've also been really good about taking my vitamins. I'm doing the best that I can. This is a 40-ounce water bottle, so if I have 3 of these, that's 120 ounces. And that's a lot for me when before I started this, I was having maybe 1 of these a day. So I'm trying to be a lot better about drinking my water. And I'm proud of the progress that I'm making. There's still a little bit of room for improvement, but I believe that's always true. But I'm not striving for perfection. That's something else I'm working on. But I am striving for at least trying to do better. And, if I fall off the train, get back up and try again tomorrow. Let's talk wealth goals. And I'm not going to give you exact numbers because that's private, but I want to talk about some things that I'm making a priority this year. I'm trying not to spend a whole lot of money. This year I've been really good so far It's just the beginning of March. This year I've been really good about not buying a whole lot of like physical items, but I am trying to optimize my savings this year. And by that I mean I'm putting a lot of money into high yield savings accounts. I have 2 of them that I want to talk about with you. And the first one is at a bank that's down here in Florida, and I think it's called like a holiday account. And what's really cool about it is it's a high interest account. So you put money into it, it's a savings account. And I think you can't touch the money in the savings account until the end of the year. So I think if you put in, I don't know what the max is, but I've basically put in as much to that account as I'm going to for the year. It will accrue interest throughout the year, which jumps into that same account, which is really cool. And then at the end of the year, and I think it's like Q4, Q4, maybe October, November, maybe it's the 1st of November, but anyway, the money from that savings account dumps into your checking account, which I think is awesome, because when we get to like October, November, we're thinking about Christmas expenses. Are we thinking about like maybe going on vacation in January? But it feels like there are lots of expenses that kind of pile up at the end of the year. Anything that you may have delayed or you're looking forward to January. For me personally, we have vacation dues that are due in January. So after, getting through like Black Friday, making any big purchases then, and then Christmas and buying any Christmas gifts, it's kind of tricky sometimes to make those payments on those vacation club dues, but we've managed it every year. But I think this is going to help get us off to the right start of January of 25. Anyway, I have basically maxed out that one savings account, which I'm really excited about. And then the other one I have is at a different bank, and I'm just going to continue to put money in there because the interest for that one is much higher. And through this other bank, I can buy a high interest CD, which is really cool. I bought one last year, and I think it comes to term later this year. I think it was an 18-month when I purchased it. And my plan is to put as much money as I can, as much as I can afford, into this savings account. And then when the CD that I have that's going to come to term this year, when it comes to term, take the money from that one and add to it, maybe double it. I would like to double it. And if I can, I'll double it and buy another CD with the high interest, because I think that's how I feel comfortable investing. And then as far as like retirement savings goes, I am working on my 401k. So I'm putting in as much as I can afford from my paycheck. I think I'm contributing upwards of 20%, but less than 30 of my paycheck is going into my 401k. And for my HSA, I'm lucky enough to work at a place that, allows me to have an HSA, and I love it because I can even take what's in my HSA and invest it, and I'm so grateful that I get to do that. It's really cool. So for my HSA, I maxed it out in 2022 and in 2023. And 2022 was kind of tricky because I started my job in April, and so over the course of the year, I had less time and, less money that I was able to put in there. So I really didn't bring home much money in 2022, but I was able to max out my HSA, and I maxed it out in 2023, and I plan on doing the same thing this year. And then for my 401k, I've been putting in as much as I can. For my last wealth goal, what I really want to start making a priority is my Roth IRA, because to this point I haven't been, and so I would like to, start trying to put some more money into my Roth IRA if I can. So that's it for my wealth goals. Let's move on to my learning goals, because I am what I would consider to be a lifelong student. I love going to school. I love learning new skills. I love trying something new. I love getting better at something. So I have a few things that I would like to learn this year and make a priority this year that I am sure will help me in my professional career goals, right? So the first one is one that I've actually started working on, and I was able to start working on this during work hours, like on the clock, because it is something that I use at work. I haven't been able to touch it in a while since our staffing at work has been really challenged lately. But that is a SQL program. So SQL is like a coding language, essentially. So I would love to become like certified in SQL if I can. Really, I just want to become more proficient with SQL because I know that it would help me do my current job better, and it's a skill that I can take with me as I progress through my career. I would also love to learn Python, R, Tableau, Microsoft BI. I don't have all of those things on my list because what I kind of did, and I need to revisit my goals. I had planned on finishing my SQL program by the end of March, and that is not going to happen. So that I could start on Python in April, and I think I need to revisit all of these and just kind of see what's actually realistic. But I do have a list of things that I would love to learn, and I think just making it a priority to finish something in the next 6 months or 3 months, even better. But if I can, make some progress toward my learning goals, I'm going to be a whole lot happier because I've been, I won't say bored, but I have been stagnant in my current position. And I know that if I was able to, get SQL on my resume and, establish that I know SQL and I can do SQL queries, I think would really help me with my professional career goals. So that's something that's really important to me. There's one other thing under my learning goals, and every time I think about this, it makes me smile and it's really funny. So I feel like maybe this should be a priority for me. I think I want to get my project management certification. I think I would be really good at it, and I think I would enjoy it. I'm really good at making a plan for a project and seeing it through to completion. And as far as I can tell, that is like the bare bones, most basic review of a project manager's role. So I know there's more to it than that, but I feel like it would be a really natural fit for my natural skills. And so I want to look into that this year, and I want to see about getting my project management certification this year because I feel like I'm really confident that I could be really good at that, and I could be a really good project manager, and I think it might make me happy. So anyway, that's something I want to look at this year because I think, is that silly? Probably, but anyway, I want to look at it because yeah, I think it would make me happy. Every time I think about it, it makes me smile. My next category is making, and I want to make more things this year. My first, thing that I came back to was YouTube, and it was really a priority for me to start making videos, and not just, I'm gonna make videos for YouTube, but I want to make content that I am proud of, something that I will watch again, because a lot of videos that I make, I find myself annoying and I don't want to watch myself, and I don't think that is healthy. So I feel like if I make content that I'm really proud of, I won't hate watching myself so much. And so that's my priority this year, is to make things that, going back to my word of the year, that I'm mindful about. Make things with intention that I'm proud of, and really work on being mindful and having intention of the content that I'm making, and not just making a video for the sake of having a video. I'm sorry, I can't stand this hair clip because it's falling out. Okay. One of these days I'm going to cut this hair off. Okay. My next making goal is cooking. And fortunately, with HelloFresh, I have been able to cook a whole lot more this year, and I am really loving it. I love to cook. I love to be creative in the kitchen and kind of like futz with a recipe until I'm happy with it. And I am not one of those people that just walks blindly into a HelloFresh recipe and makes it as directed, because I think I know better, or maybe I don't have that specific ingredient. Maybe I have something I want to add to it. So I kind of deviate from the recipe. When I'm baking, that's different because baking is a science. Cooking is an art. And you get to add more garlic to things, you get to add a protein to something, and I have a great time playing in the kitchen. I've been lucky that I've been moved up into like an 8 to 4:30 shift, so I can cook dinner now at a normal time, and it's been really good for my mental health and for my personal enjoyment and for my nutrition to get to cook healthy meals with vegetables included in them, and I get to eat them, and I get to eat them with my family, and that's really cool. So cooking, I wanted to make a priority this year, and I'm really happy that I get to say that so far I'm succeeding in that, so I'm happy. And then for my last making goal, I have like some crafts that I want to make. I'm sitting in the library right now in my house, and if you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know that the closet in this room has become my sewing closet. I have a desk in there with my sewing machine set up and all kinds of fabric. I have plans. I have things I want to make. I have events that I'm going to later this year that I want to have something for. And then like there are activities that I enjoy. Like we went to a Ren fair earlier this month, or January. So it was 2 months ago. It's March now. Anyway, maybe it was February. Not that that's important, but anyway, I want to make a costume or two because we have a couple of events that we're going to later this year. One of them is explicitly like a Lord of the Rings themed, and I'll talk more about that later, not today. And then the other thing is like a Comic-Con. So I can wear the same costume to both events, and I feel like that would be really cool. But I want to make something. Like, yes, I could buy something, but making something makes me feel happy and accomplished and creative, and it gives me a lot of joy. So I want to make something this year, at least one costume, but I would really like to make it a priority to make a couple of things this year, depending on time. You know, time is finite, but I guess, you know, we'll see, because it's a precious commodity, but I don't know. I want to spend some time working on that, so maybe I'll make it a priority this year. Anyway, those are my making goals. Now we are going to get a little bit more personal and a little bit more uncomfortable. So my next two goals categories are called self and others, and when I wrote these goals out, it had more, like, I guess I wasn't even thinking about how other people treat me, but I'm more concerned with how I treat other people. So that's what these are, like how I'm treating myself, how I'm talking to myself. And I'm going to read exactly what I wrote here. I wrote, allowing mistakes and flexibility, progress is up and down. Because, like I said in the health category, I am tracking my progress for my weight loss. Like, I'm not trying to lose like a certain number of pounds. However, I know that when I hop on the scale and it goes up, I know that that's frustrating to me, but I also know that as a female person, my weight will fluctuate at different points of the day, the week, the month, just because of my cycle and, you know, things that I've eaten and, you know, whatever. So, I want to allow myself to make mistakes and have some flexibility within my goals. You know, like there's a lot of fluidity here. Let's go back to like my move more goal. Yesterday I didn't walk on my walking pad at all. And today I may or may not do that later this afternoon, but that's okay because I'm still being more mindful about moving my body, and you know, it may not happen every day this week, but maybe I can make it happen every day next week, and that's okay. But before I was trying to allow myself to make these mistakes, because I wouldn't call these mistakes, but I would call it like a slip, right? And I used to have that all or nothing mindset, and if I can't do it every day, then I'm just going to give up and I'm not going to do it at all. And even doing it 10, 20, 30% of the time, that's better than doing it 0% of the time. So I'm just going to try to do it a little bit more, you know, and allow myself to have that flexibility. And within my weight loss goals, they're really flexible as it is. Like the way that I set my weight loss goals, like I just want to fit in my jeans and be comfortable. I want to fit into like a couple of dresses that I have that I think are so stunning, but right now they're just a little too tight and I can't wear them. And I want to wear the clothes that I own because the things that I own are beautiful and they make me feel beautiful when they fit. And I would just like to be able to wear the things that I own that are in my closet. So I'm trying to be really fluid with that. It's less about the number on the scale, more about like how I feel in my body, how I feel about, you know, doing certain activities and fitting into the clothes that I own. So even with other goals, like with my wealth goals and with my learning goals, I'm just going to do the best that I can, and I'm going to be kind to myself and allow mistakes, allow flexibility. Progress is up and down. It's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. So that is how I'm trying to treat myself this year. You know, I'm still going to work toward these goals, but it's not the end of the world if I don't make it. All right, this last category is called others, and it's kind of funny that I'm reading this right now because it says reaching out and connecting meaningfully. And what I mean by like others, again, it's how I'm treating other people. So this week, I have heard from a couple of friends and connected meaningfully with them in totally unexpected ways. And it gives me so much joy to think about like, hey, I've had some really meaningful conversations with a couple of people that I've been meaning to reach out to. Like, I've fallen out of contact with some people, and it's nobody's fault, but they're important to me, and I want them to know that. And as much as I love the relationship where you can go no contact for a long time, totally unintentionally, and then, you know, out of the blue, you just have a really totally meaningful conversation. You pick up right where you left off. I love those friendships, but I want to treat my friends like I care about them. And so having those conversations this week has made me so happy, and it has filled my cup. So what I've written here is reaching out and connecting meaningfully. So I've managed to do that this week, but I still have people that I want to reach out to and talk to and make a priority in my life because I care about them. And so that's something that I'm working on this year. Something else I've been thinking about, and I was thinking about this yesterday. I want to do a Christmas card this year, like for the channel. I know there are other people, other channels, like my friends do a Christmas card exchange. I received some wonderful Christmas cards from you guys this year, and I didn't have anything to send back. And it kind of crushed me a little because I've received some really beautiful, kind words, and like it seems weird to send you like a thank you. That's weird, but I loved hearing from you guys at Christmas time. Sandy Carter sent me a beautiful bag of Russian tea mix, and Sandy, if you're watching this, you cannot know how much that meant to me and my mom, because when I was a kid, we used to make that together. So my mom lit up when we opened that box and that was in there. It was really nostalgic for me, and I really wish that I'd had more of it, because it makes me happy. It makes my soul full. And hearing from you guys and what you're doing for the holidays and things like that, connecting meaningfully with you guys, makes me feel happy, because I feel like when I'm making these videos, I'm hanging out with you guys because I'm talking directly to you. I'm not talking to me, I'm talking to you. You don't respond for a while because I have to edit the video first and then upload it. But I do feel like I'm hanging out with you guys when I'm making these. And so that's important to me. So I think I want to do a Christmas card this year. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna make that a priority. But yeah, I've got my planner here. This is the Day Designer Planner. It's actually the weekly version. I had the daily version last year, and I didn't fill it out every day, and so it kind of felt a little bit wasteful because it was such a big planner with so many pages in it, and I didn't use it every day. I have used this thing every week, and so there's less space in it for like big busy days, but I do have some daily pages in it that I can use if I have like a very busy day planned. What I'm using those for is like intensive video planning, and that's actually been really helpful. But anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, so the Day Designer Planner has really great goal setting worksheets built into it. So I have my goals kind of worked up into like 3, 6, 9, 12 month increments. Like this page is like different categories: self-care, relationships, personal development, resources, and vocation. And then 3 months, 9 months, or 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And then the next page is my plan: what steps do I take to get there? So it has the goal description, monthly actions, weekly routine, daily habit, and progress, what progress looks like. So I actually have been using these and keeping track of my goals, and I wrote my goals in pencil this year because I've been giving myself the permission to adjust things as I need to. So I know that that's really good for me. So that's, you know, allowing me to make those mistakes and have that flexibility within my goals. So anyway, I'm done talking now. I think I want to do an update on my goals in about 4 months, 3 months, let's say sometime in the summer. And I want to let you guys know what my updates are. But for now, I think that's it. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for holding me accountable for my goals. I will talk to you guys very soon. Yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Talk to you later. Bye.